everybody's doing good today. Grumpy is busy. I got this to stack up these roach clips, so I'm gonna do as much spinning as I can. Let's see. I think I'm gonna start this one off again with another epoxy. We'll put this one in here, and we'll go. Let's see. Trying to just eyeball my center down here on the end. That's not bad. Gonna lock in and go right here. And when I went on, I didn't see any other turners or woodworkers or anybody live right now, so I'm gonna run this as long as I can. Hey Ray, yeah, this is like what I did this morning already. I got on here early this morning and spun one and got this guy here out of it. It's the same color mix. I made these blanks a while back and I tried to spin one of them. I did like 3 of them when I did it, and the first one I tried to spin wanted to bend, so I turned it true down here to put it in my jaw chuck. But I hate using that jaw chuck because I get so daggum close with these small parts and get my finger. So I'm gonna try this route and just not get too much pressure on it. But I got a couple of pieces I'm going to turn. I'm going to try to turn a bunch and then sit down and tile. I don't want to be on very long. I mean, I'm going to do a good live, but I don't want to go past, I think 11 o'clock. So I'm just going to do that. Hey, Share Bear, thank you for coming. Oh, goodness. Hey, thank you, Summer. You're here too. Awesome. We got a lot of people coming in. I can't grab my moderation access right now the way I'm set up, but when I go back and watch this, I will add the moderator options to a bunch of y'all. I'm getting stumbled on my words here. All right, again, this is an epoxy one I'm fixing to do real fast, and then Miss Francis sent me a box of goodies a while back, and I'm so appreciative for that box of goodies. But I have this piece of wood here. I'm not sure what it is. It's coated in wax to keep it from splitting, but this end's not coated, but I don't know what this is. It's a dark wood and it's dense because this piece has got some weight to it. And this is a piece that I got from her. It's a lot lighter, but it's still dense. But I'm gonna turn. I don't know if I'll be able. I want to do a roach clip and a dab spoon, have matching pieces out of the wood, and then do the same with this, a roach clip and a dab spoon base. And so I'm gonna get them centered in there and turn my clip, and then I'm gonna cut way down here and start separating it out, making it thin for my clip, and then I'll chew up the bottom and then shape it into the end right here, and then I'll have my center point to drill for my spoon. But that's my plan, as long as everything goes right. But we'll have to see. I had a little bitty ant running around right there. That's no good. I don't have food out here, so I don't know what that ant would be wanting. I'm going to babble for a minute and get some center lines marked on all this stuff and then get back at it. Hey, Professor Rusty. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Oh, goodness. Find my pencil. There we go. I got so many roach clips laying in my box that I got to tie and finish up still. Right now, I'm just marking my center on this piece here. I'm going to do the epoxy and then try these 2 pieces, and then I have some more cedar to turn, but I think I'm just going to concentrate on the epoxy and then these right here for today, because I have a lot of the Lichtenberg burned ones that I have to get the resin in and then sand them back down and then put the clips and stuff on those. So I have plenty to keep me busy. I'm just wanting to capture what I can on the lives, and trying to get my feel and my flow for this. I'm still gonna put a community post up. I want to get everybody's suggestions on good time for, you know, what they would think would be a good time to run. All right, let's see. Gotta make myself a mallet still. I'll just use a bigger piece of wood. But all right, I'm out of camera, but I'm taking I put my I can see glasses on. I'm taking one of my centers, and I'm gonna line the point up on my center line, and I'm gonna pop it with a little mallet so I can have me a good divot to start with. Keep me center as I can. That'll just help me when I go to take off and turn. Won't be 100%, but as you can see when I marked it, because it's at direct angles, you know, I spin it and spin it and spin it, so I'll try to center up in that little diamond, and then the same on that side. But I hope everybody's having an awesome day, and thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. I'm fixing, once I bang this little hole right here, I'm gonna get back at it. I'll put my mask on and start turning that epoxy. All right, those are ready. Blow out the dust mask, make sure we ain't got no little creepy crawlers in there. All right, if you're new, please hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I gotta move these out of the way. All right. And all right, here we go. Hey Billy, hey Suzanne, hey Rubberneck, thank y'all for stopping by. Everybody hit that like. The stick comes way back to here, so I can get that up. Still flat right there. It's acting like it wants to bend a little bit, so I don't want to tighten down on it too much more because I don't want to have to put it in the chuck. So I just got to keep playing. It's still got a flat spot kind of in this side. It's starting to get good down here. I just got to work it out right here and then go with it. I got most of the bubble out right there, so once I get this to where it's all smooth and I know I'm not bending, then I'll work this end down. But I got to get this right first. Hey Mike, thanks for coming through. Alright, we'll get back at it. I think it's still bending. I know I need to change my tips, but a little more pressure. Get this cut out. Okay, it's going. I gotta take my time. Yeah. Alright, we're getting there. It's almost down. Almost clean it up. All right. Heck yeah. Hey, Aiden. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry if I'm not paying attention to chat. I kind of zone out when I start doing this and forget I'm even doing the live. And I got my phone off to my left, so I have to turn and look at it to see the chat. But thank you for everybody that's showing up, and please hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you. And if anybody needs a link shared, if I don't have you a moderator, one of the other mods could please share it to them. And when I go back and watch this live later and it shows me my chat, I'll fix my moderators lists again. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. that daggone corner. Gotta pick up all my sandpaper so I don't vacuum it up. Hey, I about lost a piece. Alright. I got a mess. I gotta get it clean. Oh, turn the noisemaker off for just a minute. Alright, let's see. Hold on, yo. I'm gonna cheat, y'all can't see it yet. Alright. Getting all my sandpaper and stuff here. I had to move all that stuff. I get a little crazy about the epoxy everywhere, but I didn't want to suck up my sandpaper. Getting it all situated now. Hope everybody's doing good today. Hope y'all enjoyed my crazy little show. Let's see. Alright, got that right there. I threw my wet paper down out the way this morning and now I don't see where I put it. Oh, it's right here. Right beside the bottle where it should be. Alright. I'll look at chat for a minute. West Country, hello, thank you for coming in. Oh. Alright, everybody hit that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I drop a video every Wednesday. And I'm trying to figure out where to fit in with these lives, but I would love to try to do one every day, but I don't know if I can get in there like that. But here y'all go. I'll uncover it. I'm just playing. We gotta sand it anyway. But I'm gonna try to smooth that out. I want to keep them edges kind of sharp right there, but I mean I'm gonna taper them where they're not sharp, you know, to the touch, but I don't want them completely rounded over, if you know what I mean. And then it's gonna have some nice swirl in it once it polishes up. But yeah, I'm gonna sand it out, get it nice and good, and then we'll go from there. I still need to bring this down some, but again, this piece was short and I didn't leave myself a lot of material right there, so I have to be real careful right in here taking that down so it don't break on me. Thank you. Oh goodness. Alright, put dust mask back on and we'll get back at it. Alright, I need that out the way first. We're going to start off with some 150. That still has to come down a lot right there. So I got to see how that's going to turn out. I'm going to put something a little rougher on the end right here, as I got to bring that down a lot, and I don't really want to put the tool back on there, so I'm going to try to eat it down with the sandpaper. Can't put no more pressure on it. Alright. Now we'll go back to the 150. On a 240. Everybody, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I drop a video every Wednesday, trying to get into these lives. But alright, I appreciate the support. Thank you. Going to 320. 600. Yeah, 600. Oh, I got me a moth flying on here. Alright, had me a little bug flying around me. Okay, now we're going to go to the wet sanding and stuff so I can turn all that noise off. Or at least the vacuum. Pull my towel back up here. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. The 13th is right around the corner. I'm trying to get a few more things done. I got some stuff that I want to turn besides the epoxy. It's some pieces that I got from Miss Francis. I want to try to separate this into a clip and then a piece of it to use for a dab spoon holder, and then the same with this piece. But I want to get this polished up before I jump to that. Get the epoxy on out of the way. I got to make up some more blanks. Running very short on some blanks. I did some in a cardboard tube the other day, and so the cardboard is not going to peel off the blank, so I'll have to, once it's cured, it's not cured enough to turn, but I'll have to turn it with the cardboard on it, which won't be no big deal. Hey Amy, thank you for coming. Again, when I sit down, oh my neck, oh, I turned my head too sharp. When I sit down and I rewatch my live, I will go through and fix my moderator list again. I add to it every time I watch. I see who's in here all the time and stuff like that. And so yeah, I want to make everybody able to share everybody, or to check everybody's channels and whatnot out. So if there's anybody that needs a link or wants somebody's channel link, just ask somebody that's blue to drop it for you. And if you're blue, drop your link if you want to. I don't care. I want to support everybody. I want everybody to support everybody. Okay, babble. I start off with my wet sanding. I'll go 1,000 grit, 1,200, and then 1,500. And then I'll go to the Yorkshire paste. But again, turn my lathe down so I don't sling water all over the place. But let's see how this one polishes up, y'all. Here we go. Thank you, Ray. I can't put no more pressure on it because I don't want it to bend. I started cutting it thin. The wood, I believe, goes up to about right there, and then the rest of it's epoxy. I think it goes that far. I'm not sure. This is one of my older blanks. The newer blanks, I've been making that little insert shorter and shorter. Knuckles. I think I got a text message from the wife. I might need to check that in a minute, but if it's important, she'll call me. Alright, I got to move this. My daggone cedar is getting wet down here. I had everything set up that I want to turn ready right here at the base of the lathe, and wet sand, and I'm slinging water right there where it was all stacked. Alright, got all that mess moved. Alright, fixing to switch up to the 1200. Don't do as I do, use a separate cloth for this, people. I'm pushing up from the bottom so it don't wrap over, but still it's iffy to do so. This one's gonna polish up good. One of these days I'm gonna try to do a captive ring on the epoxy. I just have to figure out how to polish it up good before I cut through it. And I got to make my mold a little bigger, I guess, to give me enough meat to play with so I can see if I can do it. Imagine I can, it's just how clean can I get the ring before it separates. And then of course the very inside of the ring, I won't be able to polish that up. I don't know how to attack that part of it yet once it separates. Alright, let's go to the 1500. Bones. I think your lunchtime live is like 11 o'clock my time, and I'm going to try to shut down by 11 o'clock. Again, I'm going to cut it off right there and polish the bottom by hand once I get everything else done. Alright, let's try to rinse all that slurry off. Dry paper towel, get all that water off of there now before I put the Yorkshire. If it's go to the Yorkshire polish now, it's really fixing to start shining. Everything dry. Alright, paper towel goes right in front of me. telling y'all, when I put my I can see glasses on, I can't see nothing but right in front of me. Everything else is a blur. Alright, this is the good stuff. The Yorkshire polish. Yorkshire Grit micro abrasive paste, but I call it polish. I know it's not a polish, but it suits just fine and polishes my stuff up the way I want it, so I call it a polish. Just a touch tighter. Right? If it makes it shine, it's polished, I hear you. I love this stuff. Like I said, I used to wet sand everything down, you know, and take it down to 1500 like that. And then to get this shine back the way it is now, I would spray it with a urethane spray, or I would coat it with a UV epoxy and cure it that way. But then you would have, I wouldn't sand it after that point because I didn't want it to get cloudy again. So it would have runs and stuff like that in there. And now with this stuff here, yeah, I don't have to spray anything on there or nothing, and it's perfect. I love the way it works. All right, let me get most of this off, and I'm gonna do one more run with the paste, and then we'll be done with this piece. Again, I just use a little piece of cheap paper towel. I'm gonna get some softer paper towels, or maybe even eventually one day I might try to use some little microfiber pads, but because I know the paper towel probably leaves little fine scratch marks in it, you know, when I'm drying everything off because they're so rough. Thank you, Amy. I got to get caught up on your blooms. I love watching them things. It's just awesome the way that daggum resin and the alcohol and everything works. I know you manipulate it a little bit, but just the way it just kind of does what it does, that's just awesome. I don't think I could do it. Because that there kind of takes a shape of its own, and I kind of like to want to see what I'm doing and see that shape, or try to manipulate it, I guess, the best I can into the way I want it to look. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I love watching it. Alright, turn this on up, kind of buff that on out of it. This is gonna look good, y'all. I got its cousin sitting in the box that I did this morning, but it's not shaped quite like this. Same colors, but different shape. I'll show that one in just a second. Alright, let me clean my hands off, get the rest of this wax off my hands. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Wipe this water up back here before I forget. I'm gonna set me some Velcro up on my backboard and get me a different mat and hook and Velcro to the backboard where the water don't slap on everything. Help keep this stuff a little cleaner. Put a lid on that. Alright. Nice. I love it. Them colors, I can't remember the exact colors I mixed in there, but it was only 3 colors, and it's just the way they kind of mud together and mix up. It's made so many different colors, and then it's the little like pearlescent like mica powders that I use, and so it's got like that metallic flake, and it just all swirls through. Oh, I love it. I like that blue in there. See, I want to get to where I get my little round balls like that and then have areas more concentrated with just, it's going to all be random because I can't control how that epoxy pours through on something like that. But I would love to get that little planet effect, you know, like make it look like a planet and then that be like a body of water or something like that, you know, but it's cool. I like it. Let's see, and it glows. Let's see, let me kill the lights. Okay, charge it up a little bit. It's got that epoxy or that UV pigment in there that'll glow. Not as bright. That's the thing, the UV pigment or the UV pigment that I put in there, I have to load it down, and I'm getting used to how much pigment to mix with my resin and stuff when I mix it together so it'll stay strong. But the UV stuff just doesn't glow as bright as the I have those 2 bags of stuff that's not UV. It glows super bright. And then this is the other one that I did this morning. I'll show y'all that one, and then I'll turn the light back on. Let's see, charge up. Yeah, it's not 100% dark in here either. But all right, let me kick the lights back on. Okay. All right. Set that on there. Well, we got 10:30. Yeah, I don't got time to spin the other ones on the live right now. Not if I'm going to shut down at 11. I'll pull that off of there. But yeah, even that little inside edge is polished up a little bit and has that shine to it. And then again, I'll cut it right here and then sand all that down flush and polish that up. And then I'll cut that little edge off right there and put my clip on there. But yes, sir, I like that. That one turned out good. And that was one that I had poured months ago, and it was wanting to bend on me real bad, and so I just let it sit. And this is one too that I have to finish, but I got a video that I'm doing on this one. This one was bending real bad, and so I got it somewhat true to where I could grab it with my chuck down here, and I got to do the same thing. I got to get it back in there and then finish that out. I got to do that one by itself because that's a video in progress. And then I got that one's sister or cousin or whatever you want to call it. I got that one done and spun. I think I've already sold that clip. I got to put the video up for it. But that's what I got to get into is reputable pigments, I guess you could say. Everything I've bought so far has just been the cheapest I could get off of Amazon and get like the most bang for my buck. Like I would look for the most colors and then the most amount of mica by the grams or whatever. So, you know, try to get as much as I could because I'm on a tight budget. Y'all hear me whine about it all the time, I guess you'd say, but I mean, I know everybody is these days. But This is what the this was just a nail art decoration set. That's the UV active stuff. This regular light in here won't make that glow. It has to be a black light or a UV light or the sun. But it glows bright if I load it up. But I mean, you see, I don't have a lot of it. And so what I do, like if I'm gonna mix something with pink, I'll take a pink, I'll put some of this pink in there, and then I'll put some of the glow pink in on top of it and mix it up that way. That's why it's not a vibrant glow. You know, it's I'm diluting it down. But I gotta start loading the UV pigment heavier. I know that. But then this stuff here, this is another cheap pigment that I got, and it's different. The regular light will make this glow, but of course a UV light, it'll glow a lot brighter. And then this pigment is a lot, it's more coarse than this stuff here. This would be like, it's finer than sugar, but just compare this, say like sugar, and then this like powdered sugar. So it's a little heavier, but it's freaking bright when I put that in a stick to glow. Hey Kat, thank you for coming in. But yeah, I mean that's what I got for now. And I got a bunch of these little colors, but like when I bought this, it was cheap. I think this was under 15 bucks when I got all these colors. And so, like I said, I go for as much as I can, as cheap as possible. But like I said, I do want to get into. I was looking at eye candy pigment because they have some galactic ghost colors, and I want to start doing some clear sticks. Like I have a lot of exotic pen blanks that are a lot smaller than my roach clip blanks that I make. Just an example. Like I can get a bunch of these off of Amazon cheap, you know, but then here's my regular roach clips. So those would be a lot smaller. By the time I knock that round, it would be real skinny. So what I want to do is put these on here, knock them down and shape them like it's going to be a roach clip, and then get the diameter down here about 3/8 or so, kind of like the insert that I put in, and then set that up in my mold, and then put a clear epoxy around that with like the galactic colors and stuff in there, because then it's translucent, you can see into the stick, but then those little bitty specks will react off of the darker colors in here and then the light, you know. So that's my dreams. That's where I want to go with all that. But I feel I need a pressure pot to stabilize these. I think will be good because these are so dense. But the other woods and stuff, I feel I would need to stabilize them in order to do all that without having a bunch of crazy air bubbles. But that's my goal, and I'm ordering my pin mandrel set today. I finally found the right one that I need to get. That's it doesn't come with the random bushings or no kits, but it's everything I need to start. All I have to do is buy a kit to do a pin after that, and then I have my own blanks and stuff that I could use for that. So that'll be some new content that I can turn besides just the clips. But yeah, and then let's see. I'm not gonna have time to tie anything today because I said I don't want to run over. But these were the ones that I did yesterday, and then Lichtenberg burned them. I haven't filled in this one, but again, whenever I do stuff like that, I'll fill it in with the UV epoxy. And then I've left the edges on all this still because once I get these done, because when I get them wet to do the Lichtenberg burn, it makes all the grain pop back out. So you could sand it real smooth, and I mean just glass smooth, but then once you wet it and burn it and everything and it dries, it's rough again. So I need to sand all that down. So I'll put it back on the lathe and turn it and just do a quick fine sand and then stain it and seal it and then do my clips and stuff. But yeah, I've been busy trying to gear up for the 13th. I want to make sure I have enough. I mean, I don't think I'm going to sell a whole bunch of stuff, but I am being very positive that I sell a whole bunch of stuff. So I want to have enough clips on hand. But, oh yeah, Oh, right, doing the Lichtenberg burns on stuff. The machine I have is tiny. It won't do massive burns. Um, but because I didn't need anything with a lot of current because it would burn right through my sticks. But the ones that you see, those big burns are like microwave transformers and stuff. But this is about the biggest. This is a small little plaque, and that's the thickness of the burn pattern. It won't get much bigger or deeper than that. I would have to get a bigger setup to get crazy burns. But for the size it is and what I do, it's perfect. And then I could do a bunch of these little plaques like this too. I got to get my router set up, and I could buy like a 1x6 and then go through there and just route it all up and produce a bunch of those and then put a bunch of burns in there. Because yeah, I'm trying to get stuff set up because I would like to really work on getting my anxiety under control to where I can go do craft shows and stuff like that. Because I do a lot of stuff like this, and then I do my wood spirits and stuff like that. But when I go off to a place like that, I'm just uncomfortable as I can be. I'm trying to get out of that. But it's gonna start. Like I said, I got that dispensary deal that I'm working on, and that there, I've committed to the first one for sure. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. Whose birthday? Bones, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. You working or you get the day off? How's that work? I know I always had to work on mine when I was working. I'm sitting back now, getting off my back a little bit. Always work. I hear you, buddy. That's how it was before my back decided I couldn't do it no more. That's what I would do back in the day. I'd always take it off and go fishing. Right? I mean, that's a lot of people like it, but we got a little old daggum. We're not podunk no more. We're growing up. Used to be a small town, but it's exploded over the past 7 years or so. But everybody's on that tight budget, and if they see it, they're like, "Oh, what? That's that? Oh, you made that? Oh, I can make that." So they don't want to spend no money for nothing. Or like I said, they'll get sticker shock when they pick something up and I got it tagged for $40 and like, oh no, I ain't, man, that took me like 6 hours to make, dude. You go home and make one. That's the mentality I get because Grumpy don't like people, so that kind of messes with me, and I know I can't be like that when I'm trying to sell something because then ain't nobody gonna come over there. But again, I'm grumpy, so I mean, kind of fits the part, I would say, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's just my worst thing is I'll get to talking to people and it's like either I'm going to offend them or it's like they offend me right off the bat when they want to lowball me on something. And I understand some stuff, oh yeah, that's not that bad. But like this, I wouldn't put $40 on that one. But something like that would be at least $20-$25, and they're gonna pick that up and only want to pay $5 or $10 for it around here, and that's just, I did that back in 22. But that's just, and then something like that little guy, I'm not gonna give that away for $5. And that's the market around here. Nobody would want to pay much more than $5 or $10 for that, and I feel that, again, that's, anything I do, I feel is at minimum $20, just because of the time and stuff that I put into it and whatnot. And that's an old one. Did that one in 21. But yeah, that's, oh, and then I'm gonna get into some Christmas stuff here shortly. I'm hardcore on the clips right now, trying to stack up. But this was a tree I did last year. on the lathe. I think this was I think this is a piece of pecan or oak. I think it's pecan. But I had a little marble glued to the top right there, a little clear marble, but it keeps knocking off. And then that's my little snowman. I did that out of pecan. Another little one out of pecan. And then I like this now. This is the old school Christmas lights. Anybody remember these? Make sure I'm in camera here. There we go. Yeah, I turned that on the lathe. Now it's got some wormholes in it, so it's boogered right there and then right there. But I worked through it. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. Turned out awesome too, because I pulled up a picture on my phone and was looking at the picture while I did it. I mean, it come out nice. I'm proud of that one. And then another little corny tree. But I did a bunch of snowmen like this last year, and my wife claimed them all, and then my daughter claimed the ones that she didn't, and my mom grabbed a few. But I did them out of oak and pecan. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna jump out of here. Ooh, it's gonna get a little turbulent, so there we go. Oh, grab my phone. I can unplug it now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here and shut this down. That way I can get ready. I think Bones, you're going live here shortly. I want to catch that. My crazy box. There's all my stickers. Everybody got to go check out all them channels. Those are some awesome channels in there. You check out one of my mail videos, one of my newer mail call videos has everybody's link in there. But yeah, that's awesome. I love my stickers. But all right, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for putting up with my babbling and watching my crazy channel. Again, please hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna try to get it set up and get on a routine, because I love doing my woodwork. I love doing that lathe stuff, and I wouldn't mind doing a live and showing y'all every time I work. But all right, y'all have a great day, and thank you. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Stay laid back. Through Mr.